There's something about Black women over 50. You've seen her, maybe at church, maybe at a wedding, maybe just walking through the grocery store on a random Tuesday. She isn't wearing anything flashy, and yet every head turns. You find yourself thinking, who is she? What does she do? And more than anything, I want whatever she has. Here's the secret nobody tells you. It was never about the outfit, the label, or the price tag. It's about 8 specific accessories chosen with real intention for the way they behave on melanin-rich skin that send a message louder than any words could. A message that says, I have arrived and I did not need your permission to get here. Before we go any further, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel, Melanin Rock Fashion, exists for exactly this reason, to help Black women over 50 dress with the kind of quiet power that makes rooms shift. Now, stay with me because accessory number 6 on this list is the one almost nobody talks about. It is the single most overlooked detail separating women who look effortlessly rich from women who look merely well-dressed. Do not skip ahead. You will regret it. Accessory number 1, the top handle structured bag. Let's start with the piece that does the most talking before you ever open your mouth, your handbag. And I need you to really hear this because so many gorgeous women over 50 are unknowingly sabotaging their entire look right here. The mistake is the soft, slouchy, oversized bag, the kind that sags at your side, loses its shape by noon, and quietly tells the room that comfort won out over intention. Women who read as quietly wealthy carry structured top-handle bags, boxy silhouettes, clean edges, a bag that holds its form whether it's stuffed with your whole life or completely empty. That rigidity is the visual language of quality, and it photographs like money every single time. For deep and medium brown skin tones, the richest bag shades are mahogany, saddle tan, deep merlot, and burnished walnut. These are earth tones, and earth tones on brown skin do not compete, they complete. You do not need a logo. You need clean construction and a color that was practically designed with your undertone in mind. Think about it this way. A slouchy bag has to work to hold its shape, and it usually fails by the middle of the day. A structured bag never has to work at all. It simply sits there, poised, unbothered, exactly the way the woman carrying it wants to appear. That is the entire philosophy behind quiet wealth in one small object. Effort disguised as ease. Accessory number 2, a single fine gold bracelet worn with restraint. Here's where so many of us get this backwards. We think more jewelry equals more luxury. Stacked bangles, layered chains, a handful of rings, and the end result is loud, not elegant. Old money jewelry rules are the opposite of what you'd expect. Less is the entire strategy. The move here is one fine gold bracelet, a delicate chain link, a simple bangle, or a thin cuff worn alone on one wrist. That's it. One quiet piece of gold catches the light every time your hand moves, and because it's alone, every single person in the room notices it. Yellow gold specifically has a warmth that plays beautifully against brown and deep brown skin. It doesn't just sit on your wrist, it glows against it. This is the part where I want you to really sit with the psychology of restraint. A woman wearing 10 pieces of jewelry is asking to be looked at. A woman wearing one perfect piece is confirming that she has already been seen and doesn't need any more convincing. That distinction is the entire difference between trying and arriving. Choose the second one every time. Accessory number 3, a silk scarf tied with real intention. There is a version of the silk scarf that looks like an afterthought, tossed on in the car on the way out the door. And then there is the version worn the way legendary women of elegance have worn it for decades, tied at the throat with a single, deliberate knot, or draped over one shoulder like it was chosen on purpose, because it was. For our skin tones, jewel tones do the heaviest lifting. Deep garnet, teal, marigold, and rich plum bring color right up near your face, framing your features the way a gallery frames a painting. Your face, with all the depth and richness that melanin gives it, deserves exactly that kind of frame. Practice this in the mirror before you wear it out into the world. One clean knot at the throat or one shoulder drape over a blazer held in place with nothing but confidence. There is no third option that looks intentional. Either it's tied like you meant it or it reads like it slipped off a hanger onto your shoulders by accident. Think about how differently a scarf reads depending on the hands tying it. Rushed hands make it look like an accident. Patient hands make it look like a decision. Give yourself the extra 30 seconds. It changes everything. If this is resonating with you so far, go ahead and subscribe to Melanin Rock Fashion right now. New videos come out every week made specifically for women who are done shrinking themselves and ready to take up space beautifully. Accessory number 4, timeless, face-flattering sunglasses. Sunglasses are not just a summer accessory, they are a status accessory, and most women completely misuse them by chasing trends. Oversized novelty shapes, colored lenses, whatever's fashionable for 6 months and forgettable after that. Quiet wealth doesn't chase trends, it looks timeless on purpose. For brown skin over 50, round metal frames in gold, classic tortoiseshell cat-eye shapes, and oversized square frames in deep espresso tones are the ones that read as effortlessly elegant. Tortoiseshell, in particular, does something remarkable against brown skin. It creates a tonal echo that looks completely intentional, like the frames were chosen by someone who understands exactly how good she looks. Pair those tortoiseshell frames with your mahogany bag and your single gold bracelet, and watch how the whole look suddenly reads as coordinated, even though you did nothing but repeat the same warm color family 3 times. That's the entire trick behind looking put together. Repetition, not matching. Echoes, not exact copies. Accessory number 5, a fine leather glove. This is the piece almost nobody wears anymore, and that is exactly why it works. A single pair of well-made leather gloves, worn in cooler months, carried in warmer ones, tucked elegantly into a bag or held loosely in one hand, signals a level of old-world polish that most people under 50 have never even been taught to notice. Soft leather in cognac, black, or deep burgundy with clean seams and a close fit is the version that reads as quiet wealth rather than costume. This is not about function. Nobody needs gloves to survive a mild afternoon. This is about the message. I dress for myself, down to the smallest detail, whether anyone else notices or not. Think about the last time you saw a woman remove a glove slowly before shaking someone's hand. You remember it, don't you? That's the power of a detail nobody expects. It slows the room down for just a second, and in that second, she has already told everyone exactly who she is. Quick pause. If you're watching this and nodding along because you already know exactly which of these you're missing, drop a comment right now and tell me. I want to know which piece is calling your name before we even get to the big one. Accessory number 6, the classic wristwatch. I told you to wait for this one, and here it is. Because what I'm about to explain will change the way you think about everything you put on your wrist for the rest of your life. Here is something stylists rarely say out loud. In almost every first impression, people register your wrist before they register your shoes, your bag, or even your jewelry. It's an old, almost instinctive habit tied to how humans have read status for centuries. And a woman wearing a clean, classic timepiece sends a message no other accessory can replicate. She is not waiting on anyone. She is the one being waited for. For Black women over 50 specifically, this lands differently because so many of us have spent decades being overlooked, rushed past, and underestimated. A quiet, classic watch on your wrist is a silent declaration that those days are over. This is not a smartwatch. It is not a fitness tracker. It is a simple analog face, a leather or metal band that matches your jewelry tone, and nothing flashy competing for attention. On brown skin, a warm, gold-toned watch face with a rich brown leather strap is one of the most quietly luxurious things you can wear. It doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. The room feels it the second you walk in. Here is why this matters more than any other item on this list. A handbag can be borrowed, a scarf can be a gift, but a watch is chosen, purchased, and worn with total deliberation, over and over, every single day. It is the one accessory that cannot be explained away as a coincidence. When someone notices your watch, they are noticing a decision, and decisions, more than anything else you put on your body, are what read as power. Accessory number 7, bold gold hoops or drop earrings. Brown skin over 50 has a natural advantage most women never fully use, a warm, radiant undertone that catches light beautifully. The right earring becomes a spotlight aimed exactly where it belongs, right on your face, your expression, your presence. The mistake is earrings too small to register, or so large they tip into costume territory. The sweet spot is a medium to large gold hoop or a sculptural drop earring that catches light at the jawline. If your hair is natural, locked, or closely cropped, bold gold studs large enough to be noticed but simple enough to feel refined are the move. There's a reason so many of the most photographed, most admired Black women in history reached for gold at the ear during their most defining moments. It works every time. If you've been hiding behind tiny studs for years because you were told bold jewelry was too much, I need you to hear this clearly. It was never too much. It was exactly enough, and it's been waiting for you this whole time. Go find the hoops. You've earned them. Accessory number 8, a cashmere shawl draped with confidence. And finally, the piece most women don't even think of as an accessory at all, the shawl, the wrap, the soft cashmere draped over the shoulders with what looks like zero effort and is actually the most intentional choice on this entire list. A shawl draped correctly does 3 things at once. It elongates your whole silhouette, it draws the eye upward toward your face, and it announces, without a single word, that you are a woman who has fully arrived and in no hurry at all. Deep cream, warm camel, rich chocolate, and forest green are the shades that do the most for brown skin. Drape it over both shoulders, let one end fall down your back, and walk like you have absolutely nowhere urgent to be. Notice something about every single accessory on this list so far. None of them require you to rush. None of them require you to perform. Every one of them rewards a woman who moves slowly, who takes her time, who has stopped apologizing for the space she takes up in a room. That, more than any single item, is the real secret this entire video has been building toward. It's the same secret that ties every accessory here together. Quality over quantity, intention over impulse. A woman who chooses one perfect piece and wears it like she means it will always outshine a woman covered in 10 pieces she grabbed in a hurry. So there it is, a structured mahogany bag, one fine gold bracelet worn alone, a silk scarf tied with real purpose, timeless sunglasses in a shape built for your face, a single fine leather glove, a classic watch that speaks before you do, bold gold earrings that let your face lead the room, and a cashmere shawl that says you have arrived and you are not rushing anywhere. None of this requires a fortune. None of this requires anyone else's approval. This is simply about choosing pieces that finally match the value you already carry inside you. You already have the most important ingredient, your skin, your history, your presence. These 8 accessories are just the frame around a portrait that was already magnificent long before you put any of them on. And I want to say this plainly because I think we forget it too often. Elegance after 50 is not about hiding, softening, or fading quietly into the background. It is about sharpening every detail until the whole picture is undeniable. You have already survived enough, worked enough, given enough. You are allowed to finally dress like a woman who knows exactly what all of that was worth. There's a version of you that already dresses this way in your head, the version you picture when you close your eyes and imagine walking into a room exactly right. She is not a fantasy. She is one decision away, and that decision starts with the very next accessory you choose to bring home. So here is your homework this week. Pick one accessory from this list, just one, and bring it into your wardrobe with real intention. Not because a trend told you to, but because you decided you were ready to be seen exactly the way you have always deserved to be seen. Tell me in the comments which of these 8 you already own and which one you're adding to your collection first. I read every comment on this channel, and if there's a woman in your life over 50 who needs to hear this today, send her this video right now. She needs it. Before you go, subscribe to Melanin-Rich Fashion and turn on notifications, because every week I'm right here with the style secrets, the elegance, and the details that keep our women looking like exactly what we've always been, queens. Until next time, dress like you already know your worth, because honey, you do.